estate in Nevada because you work for a company that's on TV. They do these flips and stuff, but you don't want to talk about which one it is, I'm sure, right?
Yeah. I'm the broker for a real estate brokerage in Las Vegas for sure. And we have investors. We have a big investor client that is sitting on the sidelines right now. They've got money. They're just waiting because I think they see what a lot of us see, which is some pain in the forecast. Yeah, because it's just hot. When a market gets so hot like this, it's regional too. I mean, so it's not just limited to. It's not to say that every market is ready to pop. I'd say San Francisco is for sure, probably Denver. But these places, it gets irrational. And once the building starts and the national home builders have all this land that they've acquired, they have to start building because they can't have it sit on their balance sheet for much longer. So they start building. And if things don't happen, if they don't get the sales, they'll find themselves in a lot of pain. And unfortunately, I don't like to say that, but that my feeling is I think that's where we're headed.
Okay, let me ask you a couple of questions though, because one is like right now, the house goes on the market. They're on the market for like a week, and it gets sold right away for cash, right? Right. Now, you think that are there still unoccupied houses, bank-owned houses that are unoccupied here that are sitting in inventory?
No, not many. Okay. I mean, if there are, then it's somebody has chosen not to stick a renter in there.
Okay, but not on a large scale like it was a couple of years ago, where there was whole like in the Southern Highlands where the entire neighborhoods were empty, and they weren't even trying to sell them or rent them or anything. They were just sitting there empty.
Yeah. I mean, that's the banks for you.
Yeah.
I worked for a mid-rise condo project in Las Vegas that had been about halfway built, and then it was taken over by the banks, and then they had a sales team, which I was part of, to resell, to finish building out the complex and then resell them. And I have never experienced such frustration as trying to deal with the banks, trying to get them to do what we needed to do.
Right.
We needed them to sell these condos. They're barely capable of being banks. They're awful at real estate development. They're just the worst. So my feeling is that if you can get the banks out of the equation, however you can do it, go for it. Get rid of them because they're the problem. I mean, they're the biggest problem.
Yeah, I don't know, how old are you?
I'm 45.
Okay, I'm 55 years old, so I've been in business my whole life, and banking as it is today is a whole different world from banking back in New York when I was a kid in New York and, dealing with the banks. It's a whole other world, it's just incompetence seems to be the rule of what they're trying to do now, almost like a McDonald's kind of setup. I was going to ask you, though, now, so you think, though, there's going to be another crash here in Nevada? Because rents right now have gone crazy, here. You can't even rent anymore. You think this is going to turn around? Maybe the rents will go back down too?
I think you'll see. The first indicator will be, yes, it's really hot. Yes, there's a lot of transactions, and the short window of time where houses are on the market. That's usually a good indicator that it's getting overheated. But as soon as you start to see those loan programs, the banks start offering the loan programs.
Yeah, they started already. No income check.
Yeah, exactly. Once they start doing that, they're doing that because all of the natural and well-funded and good credit scoring buyers have already bought, and there's nobody left, but they need to keep selling these houses. Then they start to lower the requirements and start bringing in people that are sort of, shouldn't be buying a house. And once they're buying a house, it's almost over at that point. So I'll tell you a story about something that happened in 2006 when I was in new home sales for a big publicly traded builder. We went into a sales meeting, and our sales manager said that we were going to do we have incentive money, right? So this is like an imaginary pool of money that you can use to a variety of ways. So the house is $500,000. You have, in this particular case, we had $100,000 of incentive money. So you can use that and take it right off the price of the house and then just pay $400,000 for the house. Or you can use some of it for closing costs, and you can use some of it to buy down your interest rate, and whatever's left over from that, you can take off the price of your house. And those things are all legal and they're normal, and there's nothing inherently wrong with that. But this one meeting we went into, this is where things started to stall out a little bit on the market. They said, well, we're going to free you up to use that money, that $100,000 pool of money, to do whatever you need with it. If you need to pay off the husband and wife's credit cards and you need to pay off their car loans, and then we run their numbers again to see if their debt to income ratios got better, that's what we can do. And I was like, I raised my hand and I was like, have we cleared this with our legal department? And I will never forget what my sales manager said. I'd rather beg for forgiveness than ask for permission. And I was like, holy crap, this is not good. This is not okay. It's fraud. It's straight up mortgage fraud. And we had real estate license at play. We couldn't do that. I actually never closed one of the houses with that program because I wouldn't do it. And we pushed back against it, and they finally wound up scrapping it. But there were lots of houses that went through. We paid off a guy's Porsche, so he could qualify for this house. And then it was insane. Of course, I was later fired.
Wait, but let me ask you a question. How does it, you're paying off the guy's debt to raise his credit score, but how do you know that if there's no closing before you do that, how do you protect yourself?
You don't.
Okay, great. Hey, sign me up.
I mean, I saw a person that we and all the salespeople talk to each other. We know what's going on. We know what's happening. But there was a case where I know someone that sold a house to a guy, paid off the guy's credit card and his car loan, his wife's credit card and her car loan, and then they bought the house. They paid the $500,000 for the house. They didn't get to take that off the price. But what do they care? They just got basically a free loan. They have no debt anymore. And now you run the numbers and you're like, this is a great candidate. Where have they been all our lives? We need to sell them a house. Well, of course they have no debt. You spent $100,000 to pay off all their debt. Like it was crazy. But when you see that, that's because things aren't selling. When you have to do things like that, that's not. It lures people in, but you should be wondering, why am I getting lured in?
When you see them do that,
good market. If it's such a good deal, why do you have to give me $100,000 worth of items or freebies to come in and buy this house? So that is something that just took me working through it and seeing it in person to really understand how it works. And that's no way to run a business.
Listen, we got to take
anyway, I felt bad. The people that had their credit cards and cars paid off, and then they lost their house, they're like, so what? I can write it off.
Yeah, right.
I'd do a short sale. I don't have to pay for it. Got my cars paid for, got my credit card debt taken care of, so they were fine. But it's just an unsustainable way of doing business. Oh, yeah, we got to take a commercial break. But the next time they offer a deal, give me a call. Okay, I'm going to jump at it. Okay, we'll be right back. We're talking to Charlie Robinson, and the book is called Have you ever thought about opening your own mobile cart or kiosk business? Perhaps your current business wants to add multiple point-of-sale locations across the country quickly. Maybe the facility you manage could kickstart revenue by adding coffee, food, or retail services. Well, CartKing.com can be the answer to your needs. CartKing.com is a North American designer and manufacturer of the finest mobile retail, coffee, and food carts and kiosks money can buy. For 20 years, CartKing.com has been working with clients and corporations across America to provide indoor and outdoor carts and kiosks for any application, from large, heated and secure outdoor retail or food kiosks to smaller, more mobile coffee station carts. CartKing.com designs and builds them all. Carts and kiosks are fun, and so are the dozens of designs on the website. Please visit them today at CartKing.com. That's cart-king.com. Or just call them at 1-877-986-7771. That's 877-986-7771. The Opperman Report is brought to you by SubhashTechnosis.com. Subash Technosis is a search engine optimization and website design company located in India. So you're going to save a lot of money and get top quality service to boot. They offer all kinds of services, business process outsourcing, data entry, banking BPO services, recruitment process outsourcing, software testing, offshore research networking, customer care, press release content writing and distribution, and much, much more. They offer website development, e-commerce solutions, mobile responsive designs. Now, I've personally worked with Subhash for over 10 years.
This is the man that puts out my press releases. They've done work on my websites, so I can personally recommend SubhashTechnosis.com. You can find the link to Subhash Technosis at OppermanReport.com and also AwakeRadio.us.
People are waking up. They're standing up to those pushing pesticides and GMOs as safe alternatives for a starving world. What a bunch of crap! I tell you, I'd rather eat dirt. So I drink Life Change Tea. It's an herbal drink, cleansing my body of toxic sludge and nasty chemicals, and of course, ridding the intruders that are hidden in my so-called food. And by the way, Life Change Tea is non-GMO and organic. No fillers, no yuck. Just a great defense against you-know-what. May the supplement force awaken you. Don't fall to the dark side. Sorry. I went to the movies last night. Anyway, enough said. How do you get that herbal drink and change your life? GetTheTea.com. That's GetTheTea.com. You will awaken. You will get stronger, and you might even lose a bit of weight. So awaken to Life Change Tea and the many one-of-a-kind supplements at GetTheTea.com. That's GetTheTea.com. May the supplement force be with you.
We all have questions. Did he do it or did he not? We all have opinions, but do we really know the truth? New evidence will now be presented and the ultimate answers will be revealed in the explosive documentary, Serpents Rising. Inspired by the bestseller Double Cross for Blood, an independent investigation of the trial of the century, the lies, the myths, and the concealed evidence. Don't miss Serpents Rising.
This excellent documentary film is available at Serpents Rising at Vimeo Videos on demand. Watch it for $1.99. You can have your ad played here at OppermanReport.com every Friday night, 5 p.m., and Saturday night, 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And on Friday nights, too, we do a live portion for 1 hour that I just do a live monologue. The ads are very, very inexpensive, and they're also played in the Opperman Report member section. In the member section, you can find all kinds of exclusive content that you won't find anywhere else. It's as cheap as $6 a month, $20 a quarter, or $75 for a year. If you contact me directly at oppermanreport@gmail.com, I'll set you up with a little special deal there where you get a discount if you PayPal me directly, and you even get a copy of my book. I want to thank William Ramsey, who helps us produce the show and book guests. You can find William Ramsey, who's an excellent author, at William Ramsey Investigates on YouTube. Okay, welcome back to the Opperman Report. I'm your host, Private Investigator Ed Opperman. We're here today with Charlie Robinson, and the book is called The Octypus of Global Control. So now, Charlie, you mentioned that you said you woke up. You've been awake for a couple of years. So how many years has it been?
Oh, God, I'd love to say that on the morning of September 11th, 2001, I had it all figured out. But it took a couple of years. I'd say maybe 2005. I came to understand that official story was totally unbelievable, and but after that it was incremental. It was you just dig in one topic after the other, and I think one thing that you can see, or one thing that I see every day that reinforces how absolutely corrupted the system is we're living in is the mainstream media. Or I should say corporate media. I don't know how mainstream it is anymore, but to see them, to see how it's changed from, God, just when I was a kid, I remember watching the nightly news, and you just sort of had the assumption that what they were telling you was the truth. As we got older, after 9/11, after things like that, after the wars, it's become pretty clear to me that the corporate media is like the de facto public relations arm of the White House. Maybe not today, maybe not since Trump got in office, but it had been, that ever since, the Bushes and Obama and people like that. It just seemed like there was no sort of actual investigation going on there. It was more like people were just reading off teleprompters, and it's pretty obvious that that the story you're getting from them on your nightly news is totally corrupted. And like there was a belief I think especially like when in maybe our parents' generation, that the nightly news would cover the most